Beneath the surface of Zoom's meteoric rise lies a story few have heard, a story shrouded in mystery, cutthroat tactics, and strategic maneuvers that helped it crush the competition. We often hear about Zoom as a heartwarming underdog tale, a young entrepreneur from China, fueled by his desire to connect with his distant girlfriend, creates a platform that eventually takes down giants like Skype and Google Hangouts. But what if this narrative isn't the whole truth? What if Zoom's rapid ascent wasn't just about innovation and timing, but also about a series of calculated and sometimes questionable moves that raise serious ethical questions? This is the untold story of how Zoom became the dominant force in the video conferencing world, and it's not what you might expect. Before diving into the controversial aspects of Zoom's rise, it's essential to understand the background of its founder, Eric Yuan. Born and raised in China, Yuan was inspired to enter the tech industry during his college years after hearing a speech by Bill Gates. With a dream of working in Silicon Valley, Yuan applied for a US visa 9 times before finally being granted entry. When he arrived in the United States in 1997, he spoke little English, but his technical skills and determination quickly set him apart. Yuan joined WebEx, a video conferencing company that was eventually acquired by Cisco, where he worked as a lead engineer. It was during his time at WebEx that Yuan recognized the growing need for a more user-friendly and reliable video conferencing tool. Frustrated by the limitations of existing platforms and driven by his personal desire to stay connected with his long-distance girlfriend, now his wife, Yuan decided to strike out on his own. In 2011, Yuan left Cisco to start his own company, Zoom Video Communications. From the outset, his vision was clear: to create a platform that would make video communication as seamless and reliable as possible. Yuan's relentless focus on customer satisfaction, combined with his deep technical expertise, laid the foundation for what would become one of the most successful tech companies of the decade. While Zoom's user-friendly interface and reliable service were crucial to its success, there were several less savory strategies that the company employed to ensure it not only survived, but thrived in a highly competitive market. One of the first signs of Zoom's aggressive strategy was its relentless pursuit of top talent, often at the expense of its competitors. Eric Yuan, who was one of the original engineers at WebEx, acquired by Cisco, used his deep connections within the industry to lure away key engineers and executives from Cisco, Microsoft, and other tech giants. These employees brought with them not only valuable expertise, but also insider knowledge of their former employers' strategies and weaknesses. While poaching talent is not uncommon in Silicon Valley, Zoom's approach was notably aggressive. The company offered lucrative packages, including stock options, that would later be worth millions to entice top performers. This talent war depleted resources from competitors and allowed Zoom to build a formidable team that could out-innovate and outmaneuver other players in the video conferencing space. As Zoom's popularity grew, so did concerns about its security and privacy practices. However, what many didn't realize was that Zoom may have been leveraging these vulnerabilities in a calculated manner. By allowing certain security flaws to persist, Zoom could quietly monitor and analyze user behavior, gathering data that would help them refine their product and marketing strategies. For example, the infamous Zoom bombing incidents, where uninvited participants would disrupt meetings, expose serious security flaws in the platform. While Zoom publicly apologized and quickly rolled out fixes, the controversy kept the company in the headlines, increasing its visibility. Some industry insiders speculate that Zoom's initial lax approach to security was a strategic decision to grow its user base rapidly, knowing that once they had a critical mass of users, they could tighten security and retain their dominance. In the early days of the pandemic, Zoom's growth was exponential. However, the company's marketing tactics during this period were not always above board. Zoom engaged in a form of astroturfing, where they created fake grassroots campaigns to drum up positive sentiment about the platform. This involved paying influencers and online personalities to endorse Zoom without disclosing their affiliations, giving the impression that the platform's popularity was purely organic. Moreover, Zoom was quick to capitalize on the fear and uncertainty of the pandemic. They launched targeted advertising campaigns that played on the anxieties of remote workers and businesses struggling to stay connected. By positioning itself as the solution to these newfound problems, Zoom effectively manipulated market perception, presenting itself as an indispensable tool during the crisis. Zoom's rise can also be attributed to its ability to exploit the weaknesses of its competitors. Skype, once the leader in the video conferencing space, had grown complacent under Microsoft's ownership. Its user interface was clunky, and the platform was plagued by connectivity issues. Zoom, on the other hand, offered a seamless experience that made it the go-to choice for businesses and individuals alike. But Zoom didn't just rely on its superior product. It actively undermined its competitors. For instance, there were reports that Zoom's sales teams would aggressively target customers of Skype and WebEx, offering steep discounts and incentives to switch platforms. They also spread fear, uncertainty, and doubt, FUD, about the security and reliability of competing services, further driving users towards Zoom. When Zoom went public in April 2019, it was one of the most anticipated tech IPOs of the year. The company was valued at over $16 billion, and its stock price soared on the first day of trading. However, there were whispers within the industry that Zoom's IPO was not as straightforward as it appeared. Some analysts believed that Zoom's management engaged in window dressing in the months leading up to the IPO, artificially inflating its growth metrics to attract investors. This involved aggressive sales tactics, including pressuring customers to sign multi-year contracts and offering deep discounts to boost revenue figures. While this is not illegal, it raises ethical questions about the lengths to which Zoom was willing to go to present itself as a high-growth company. Additionally, Zoom's IPO was overshadowed by concerns about its business model. The company was heavily reliant on a freemium model, where a large portion of its user base used the platform for free. There were doubts about whether Zoom could sustain its growth and profitability in the long term, especially with increasing scrutiny over its security practices. As Zoom's user base exploded during the pandemic, so did concerns about data privacy and surveillance. It was revealed that Zoom had misled users about its encryption practices, claiming to offer end-to-end encryption, when in fact the company had the ability to access and monitor meetings. This led to a wave of backlash and multiple lawsuits, forcing Zoom to overhaul its security practices. However, the damage was already done. The revelations raised serious ethical questions about how Zoom had been using its access to user data. Some critics argued that Zoom's rapid growth was fueled, in part, by its willingness to prioritize user growth over privacy. By collecting vast amounts of data on its users, Zoom was able to refine its product and marketing strategies, giving it a competitive edge. But this came at the cost of user trust and privacy, leading to widespread concerns about surveillance and data exploitation. Behind the scenes, Zoom also engaged in aggressive lobbying efforts to influence policy and regulation in its favor. The company spent millions of dollars on lobbying activities, targeting lawmakers and regulators to shape policies that would benefit its business model. This included efforts to weaken privacy regulations and push for favorable treatment in government contracts. Zoom's lobbying efforts were particularly evident during the pandemic when the company sought to secure contracts with schools, government agencies, and healthcare providers. By positioning itself as the go-to solution for remote learning, telehealth, and government communications, Zoom was able to secure lucrative contracts and expand its reach even further. Zoom's rise to the top of the video conferencing world is often celebrated as a triumph of innovation and entrepreneurship. But the reality is more complex. While Zoom undoubtedly offered a superior product that met the needs of millions of users, its success was also driven by aggressive and at times underhanded tactics. From poaching talent and exploiting competitors' weaknesses to manipulating market perception and engaging in questionable business practices, Zoom's journey to dominance was not without controversy. The company's willingness to prioritize growth and market share over ethics and user privacy has left a lasting impact on the industry. Despite the controversies, it's essential to acknowledge Zoom's significant accomplishments. Under Yuan's leadership, Zoom revolutionized video conferencing with its easy-to-use interface, high-quality video, and innovative features like virtual backgrounds and breakout rooms. By the end of 2020, Zoom reported a staggering 477% increase in revenue, with its user base growing to over 300 million daily meeting participants. Zoom's ability to scale rapidly during the pandemic was nothing short of extraordinary. The platform became a lifeline for remote workers, educators, healthcare providers, and families, helping millions of people stay connected in a time of unprecedented isolation. Yuan's emphasis on customer happiness and continuous product improvement played a crucial role in Zoom's widespread adoption and user loyalty. Zoom also made strategic moves to expand its offerings beyond video conferencing. The launch of Zoom Phone and Zoom Rooms positioned the company as a comprehensive communication platform, capable of serving the needs of businesses and organizations across various industries. As Zoom continues to evolve and expand, it will be interesting to see how the company navigates the challenges ahead. Will it learn from its past mistakes and adopt a more ethical approach, or will it continue to prioritize growth at any cost? Only time will tell. In the meantime, Zoom's story serves as a reminder that in the tech world, success often comes at a price. While Zoom's accomplishments are undeniable, the methods used to achieve them have sparked significant debate. The rise of Zoom is not just a tale of innovation and opportunity, it's also a story of the darker side of business, where ambition and ethics often collide. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe to be notified of more stories revealing the truth behind big businesses. Leave a comment if there is a business you'd like us to investigate next.